Well, there you have it. We come on tonight at 11 with some breaking news. President Donald Trump's signature on the temporary spending bill is now into law. Just moments ago, the federal government began reopening. The president's vote comes off the heels of a successful vote in the House just hours earlier tonight. Now, hundreds of thousands of people who have been out of work can breathe a sigh of relief as the longest federal government shutdown is officially over. Thanks for joining us here on the Night Team. I'm Alex Dieterer. Doug has the night off. This legislation will fund the government through January 30th and provide funding for some government agencies for the remainder of the fiscal year. It will also fully fund SNAP and WIC through next September. However, many Democrats continue to feel frustrated by lack of answers regarding affordable health care. Republicans say they refuse to vote unless the government reopens. The Senate agreed to hold an Affordable Care Act vote in December as Americans continue to see skyrocketed premiums. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson had this to say.
I'm not going to guarantee a vote on ACA unreformed COVID-era subsidies that is just a boondoggle to insurance companies and robs the taxpayer. We got a lot of work to do on that. The Republicans would demand a lot of reforms before anything like that was ever possible.
Senate Republicans put a provision in the bill that would allow senators to sue the government for $500,000 in taxpayer money if their phone records were searched without their permission by special counsel Jack Smith. That provision could be repealed and is getting pushback from both sides of the aisle. But at least one senator, Lindsey Graham, says he will be filing a lawsuit. And the end of the government shutdown could be the start of a nationwide hemp industry shakeup. The funding bill includes language to regulate THC and hemp products. The bill would cap THC content at 0.4 milligrams per container, effectively outlawing popular CBD and hemp products currently sold across America. The hemp industry here in Kentucky is torn about what this could mean for business.
I feel like I'm in an alternate universe where we should be promoting a natural product. Instead, we're trying to walk back and go back to prohibition.
There are some bad actors that have made intoxicating products that are dangerous, and we don't know what the health effects are, and they're sold in places that they shouldn't be to people that shouldn't be using them.
Once this bill is fully passed, the industry would have 1 year until the law takes effect. And the government is now reopened. Officials say SNAP benefits could resume quickly, but the timeline for air travel returning to normal is less certain. The FAA is still forcing flight cancellations due to air traffic controller shortages. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says they'd get 70% of their back pay within 48 hours of the government reopening. But he says he's not sure the staffing issues will go away immediately. Tonight, congregations across Louisville are praying for the victims of the UPS cargo plane crash. At St. Gabriel Catholic Church, the pastor read each victim's name and says his entire community has been praying every day since the tragedy. The night team, Jose Alonso and photojournalist Levi Hammer, attended their mass tonight, where many parishioners had these 14 people and their families on their mind.
Let us pray to the Lord.
A Wednesday Mass for Louisville Catholics.
Lord, hear our prayer.
It's exactly where Jeffersontown resident Phyllis Parker finds community in this time of sorrow.
Prayer is always good, and it's always very helpful in good times and in bad times. And our city has experienced some very, very sad times.
It's been more than a week since the city experienced a UPS plane crash just south of the Muhammad Ali International Airport. An MD-11 cargo jet was bound for Honolulu, Hawaii before it crashed. It's a moment Parker calls horribly shocking.
I have some friends that fly, a pilot that flies out to Hawaii, and my first concern was it him? And so I called another friend, and it wasn't. It took them a while to get back. It wasn't, but it hurt.
On Wednesday, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg released the names of the 14 victims who died. At St. Gabriel Catholic Church, Father Jason Harris took a moment during Mass to remember those taken too soon.
And especially today, we pray for those who we now know lost their lives. for Dana, for Richard, for Lee, for Angela, for Carlos, for Louise, for Kimberly, for Trina, for Tony, for John, Matthew, Ella, Megan, and John. When we'd seen the names published, it just seemed right to read their names and, to remind ourselves, because, we have several people in our parish, part of the UPS family, first responder family, lots of first responders in our parish. And so it's a natural connection.
These churchgoers connecting to offer peace to impacted families.
It's going to be a very tough time, but know that people really care and that people are really with them.
As a Louisville family, I mean, we're praying for them, and if there's any way we can help besides prayer, we will try.
Continued signs of unity within the metro. In Louisville, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 Night Team, on your side.
And if you or someone you know was impacted by this crash, you can call 502-473-5271 to get connected to resources. You can see that number right here on your screen. The call center is live from 7 in the morning to 9 p.m. every day except Sundays. Tonight, LMPD arrested a man for a shooting that happened in the Russell neighborhood this October. LMPD says they arrested 45-year-old Chaz R. Ross in connection to the bar shooting. This happened on October 18th at the Double Deuce Sports Bar and Grill on West Broadway. 2 women were shot and taken to a nearby hospital, but survived from their gunshot wounds. Ross is charged with 2 counts of assault and possession of a handgun. Well, new tonight, more construction is on its way to Interstate 71, a main route in and out of Louisville from Oldham County residents. A 2-year project will focus on a 2-mile stretch of the interstate near downtown. This $50 million project aims to widen the interstate and make improvements to increase safety and improve efficiency for drivers, and it is expected to start on Monday. The night team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester are near the construction area at the interchange of Zorn Avenue and Interstate 71 tonight. And Clarice, you all have been talking to people in the area today, and how are they feeling about this added construction?
Well, Alex, they point out we're not even a year into the 2-year-long Louisville water project on River Road, which they say has already been a pain. They understand why this is needed, but say progress means growing pains.
So Jake is a toy golden doodle.
Getting around isn't a problem.
Yeah, he's a happy dog.
For 1.5-year-old Jake.
He has his friends.
But for his chauffeur, John Fleming,
now that it's open to lime kiln, it's great.
driving
Until then, he had to go around. Big loop.
Is getting better.
Along with the other construction. So
He's had to navigate around a 2-year-long project on River Road to get Jake to the dog park off Zorn Avenue. And more construction is just around the corner for them and Chase Coleman.
There's a lot of construction going on, hoping it's not going to, mess my normal routine day up.
A $50 million project starts on Interstate 71 on Monday to widen the 4-lane highway to 6 lanes and make other improvements. Widening and pavement improvements will happen from the I-65 and I-71 interchange near Frankfort Avenue to the Zorn Avenue and I-71 interchange. A slow-moving area. This video shows the interstate at Zorn Avenue around 5 p.m. during rush hour.
Getting on 71 is definitely trouble, especially around this time, 4 or 5 p.m. So
Construction has caused delays around the new VA hospital northeast on 71, which is now expected to be complete next summer.
it just seems like with 42 and the VA and River Road and all at the same time, it just seems to happen all at once. The bottleneck.
hopefully they get it done quicker, and then people get home quicker.
It's going to be a headache, a growing pain. It's going to last a couple of years, and we'll have to deal with it.
With the I-71 project, those 2 current lanes will remain open during peak hours. We have full details on the project online right now. People also reminded me that the news of the I-65 closure for 2 months next year and how they're concerned on how this will further impact travel. Alex?
The scar will always be there. You can move this stuff and clean it up and fix it. But the scar of losing that man hurt a lot of people.
You just heard from Malika Watson, who lost her partner of 5 years 1 year ago today. Many parts of Louisville felt it. When the Givaudan plant exploded in Clifton, it not only killed employees, but the blast so powerful, it shook many of our neighborhoods. In new video from our Sky 11 drone, the main buildings are still there, along with a lot of the twisted wreckage. We do know that there's a plan for the demolition. Givaudan has said it will not rebuild on this site, but the company does still own the property. Many in the Clifton community have said they don't want to see another manufacturing facility built in its place. And Metro Councilman Andrew Owen says the city is listening.
The mayor and I have told the neighbors in Clifton that this will no longer be an industrial facility, right? But until we actually do that, they have to trust us.
Givaudan said it's considering options for a new facility in a different location and what to do with the existing property in Louisville's Clifton neighborhood. Those options include selling the land, but the company hasn't indicated when or if they'll do that. Councilman Owen said the plan is still to eventually demolish the debris left on this site, but the timeline for that work is unclear. He added that some of this decision will depend on MSD and its evaluation of the area. You can stay up to date on the latest developments by downloading our WHAS11 app. It's free to download wherever you get your apps. We at WHAS11 spend all day raising money during our Dare to Care telethon to help feed hungry families and put food on their shelves. The final numbers up next. And the Festival of Faiths kicked off today, strengthening communities and people of all walks of life. We've got the details next.
And after more than 6 hours of backups on I-71 southbound just south of the Gene Snyder, both lanes are back open. That was following a semi that overturned in the median earlier this afternoon. We will take a look at our forecast. Pretty quiet for the rest of the week. That's coming up after the break. Here's a check of today's Kentucky Lottery jackpots. Mega Millions close to $1 billion. Powerball, $512 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.